as we are looking at Jesus' heart for you, one thing which we need to think about very clearly, his heart is that of friendship. Jesus' heart is that of friendship. His heart binds us to him as our never failing friend. He is our never failing friend. Let's try to understand this. What kind of a person does Jesus enjoy in being a friend to? யாருடைய நண்பரா இருப்பதற்கு அவர் மிகவும் விரும்புகிறார் அப்படின்றத கொஞ்சம் பார்ப்போம். We read about Jesus' enemies making fun of him. See, they are ridiculing him. In Matthew chapter 11, we can see this. They are ridiculing him, making fun of him as a friend of tax collectors and sinners. See, in those days, tax collectors and sinners were despised. They were considered to be the most horrible kinds of people. Here, Jesus' enemies are making fun of him, saying that he is a friend of tax collectors and sinners. And they are accusing Jesus. You are a friend of sinners. They are placing that label. Now, what does it mean that Jesus is a friend to sinners? Because on the surface we can say, yes, he is their friend, they are his friends, okay, over, chapter close. No, there is something much more deeper that's happening there. See, at the very least, it means that Jesus enjoys spending time with these people. It also means that these people are naturally drawn to Jesus. இயேசுவிடம் இந்த மக்கள் வந்து ஈர்க்கப்படுகிறார்கள். Okay, அவங்க ரொம்ப கம்ஃபர்டபுளா இருக்கிறாங்க. They feel welcomed and comfortable to Jesus, with Jesus, around Jesus. And we see this passing line in Luke. Now the tax collectors and sinners were all drawing near to hear him. So you see, these people were very comfortable in drawing near to Jesus, in listening to him. They were very comfortable in his presence. Now the two groups of people that Jesus' enemies are accusing him of being friends with, we see that in Matthew 11, right? So those are the same people who can't stay away from him in Luke chapter 15. They're very comfortable to be around him. They sense something different with Jesus, right? Others are avoiding these two groups of people, these tax collectors and sinners. But Jesus, he offers them the surprise of welcome. He is in fact welcoming them, a welcome of friendship. At the very core of it all, what Jesus is doing is he is pulling these people who have been pushed away by the society. He is pulling them into his heart. Now, consider your own relationships, right? See, you may have lots of friends, right? Some of these friends may be really close. Some of these friends may not be as close. Some of these friends may just be there for the sake of being called a friend. All of us, have different sorts of friends, and some of us may have these different groups of friends, different levels of friendships as well. Or consider, if you are married, your husband or your wife is your closest earthly friend. Or if you're too young to be married, you maybe have a best friend. Even in this short example, we see that friendships are at different levels. There is another level in which some of us may not even have one true friend. We may not even have one true friend that we could share anything with. But the promise of the gospel in the Bible, the promise of the gospel and the message of the whole Bible, in fact, is that in Jesus, we are given a friend who will always enjoy rather than refuse our presence. Right? Jesus enjoys our presence. He doesn't refuse us. He doesn't say, I can't spend time with you. I don't want to be, around you. He never says all of those things. The promise of the gospel is this, and in fact, the whole message of the Bible is this. Jesus is a companion who always embraces us. He always wants us. He always wants to be in a relationship with us. For example, you may think that maybe Jesus is someone who embraces us when we are good, in our good times, but in our bad times, when we are unclean, his embrace is not so much. No, Jesus is not at all like that. His embrace does not depend upon how attractive you are or how ugly you are, whether you are clean or unclean, whether you are obedient or disobedient, no matter how we presently are. Okay, when Jesus is your companion, he fully embraces you. Now, some of us may not have even one true friend whom we can entrust important information about us, important information about our lives. But with Jesus, we need not worry at all. You need not worry at all with Jesus, because you can entrust yourself to him. And this is the reality, because human friendships has its limits, right? All human friendships has its limits. There is no sort of a human friendship which is limitless. All human friendship has limits. It has a ceiling, and that is the reality in this. But with Jesus, it's different. Now let's see how different it is. Let's look at Revelation chapter 3. We see a group of Christians who are wretched, pitiable, poor, blind, and naked. And then a few verses after, we see, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come into him and eat with him and he with me." What does this show us? We just saw the reality of human friendships that has limits. Jesus is someone who is completely different. He wants to be with you. No matter how pitiable you are, no matter how poor you are, no matter how broken you are, no matter how miserable you are, He wants to be with you. He wants to enjoy meals together with you. He wants to spend time with you. He wants to deepen the relationship with you. உங்களோட ஒரு ஆழமான ஒரு உறவை வைத்துக்கொள்ள வேண்டும் என்று தான் அவர் விரும்புகிறார். Another thing is, He enjoys your presence. It is not something like you becoming good and then Jesus enjoying your presence. No, it's not like that. As you are right now, Jesus enjoys your presence. This is one thing which is seen over here in Revelation 3. But Jesus is not just any friend, right? The problem with human thinking is that we tend to equate Jesus and his friendship with human friendship and humanity. No, Jesus is not just any friend. A few chapters earlier in Revelation, in chapter 1, we see that John is falling down. He is unable to move in the presence of Jesus. With what we see here, what should our reaction be? With the truth that we just saw, what should our reaction be? See, Jesus is not someone who is waiting for you to trigger his heart. I will wait. If he wants, then I'll take the first step. No, he is not someone like that. He is standing right there at the door and he is knocking, right? He is wanting to come in and dwell with you. He wants to enjoy meals with you. So what is our job over here? What do we understand from this? We need to let him in. We need to let him be the friend that we need, that we deeply desire. Right? Jesus says, "You are my friends." See, we need not fill out a friendship application form, send a friend request, and then wait for that request to be accepted. No, we already know his answer. He himself created the friendship. He is ready and he is able and willing to walk with us in our difficult times. We need to let him in. See, the word companion is an interesting word. Companion is another word for friend, but it specifically speaks of a certain idea of someone who goes with you on a journey, right? A companion is someone, it means friend, but more specifically, it means someone who goes with you on a journey. So as we are living this life in this world where we are facing trouble, we are facing good times, where we are facing bad times, one thing is true, that we have a steady companion. We have a steady, a stable, a constant, a reliable companion in Jesus, right? So what does this mean? This means that Jesus' heart for you is never failing, right? No matter what friends may leave you, no matter what type of friends, the friends that you may have, they may desert you, no matter what happens to your human friendships, whether it succeeds or fails, whether they are with you or they desert you or they run away from you or they take advantage of your friendship, no matter what, even if you are lonely without any friend, Jesus is one reliable companion who is your friend and who is willing and able to travel and journey with you for eternity. How does he do this? And this Jesus, he walks with us every moment because he knows the pain of being deserted. He knows the pain of being betrayed by a friend because he himself experienced it, as we already saw. So he is not someone who takes friendship at a very surface level, at a very basic level for the sake of being a friend. No. His heart is at a different level. His compassion is at a different level. His friendship is completely different, totally different from any human friendships that we may have or we may have had. And because he knows what betrayal is, he will never betray us. He will never ever betray us. That is the sort of companion that Jesus is for you. That is his heart for you.